Hey everyone, welcome back to JP's Budget Collecting and Cash or Trash, which I apparently hadn't done in like 6 weeks. I thought it'd been more like about a month since I'd done one of these, but when I look back, I was like, oh, it's been almost 2 months. So I know these kind of come and go because it depends on if I have the energy on a Sunday morning to look at what Tom did and what CBSI did and do one. That's usually how that goes. So we had Discovery Bay hanging out with us early, tailgating a little bit. John's Comics for Kids. Thank you, John. Yes. So give a few minutes for some people to show up, and then we'll go through this week's list. There were 19 different books this week, so we'll try to crank through them fairly quickly. A couple of announcements. Dr. Lovebox, what's going on? I don't know. I haven't decided yet if I'm doing a whatever report tonight. Chiefs are playing tonight. I'm supposed to be on White Whale's channel playing D&D, which means I won't really get to watch the game because, hey, Chris Creative, what's going on? Because, well, I bailed on D&D last week because I had to work, and so I didn't want to bail on 2 weeks in a row. So I haven't decided if I'm going to do a whatever report tonight or not. Also, there will not, unless something really changes, there will not be a look back next week because it's Thanksgiving week and I don't think I'm going to mess with it. So, unless I just get super energetic for the next couple of days and get it cranked out early in the week. So, all right, with that, we are going to go on and get started on a little cash or trash. As I said, there's 19 books. And for those who don't know what this is I look at, you guys all know I do the look back. I look back at 6 months. The list from 6 months ago, the CBSI Hot Top 10, the Comic Tom Key Collector, hottest trending comics of the week, and see how they did for 6 months. So this is my kind of fun look at the current hot books and give my predictions, my thoughts on the books that are on the list and whether or not we should be chasing them in the moment. If I do this, then I will, 6 months from now, I will talk about what I said and versus what they did as well. So I have some categories I throw the books into. I'll explain those kind of as we go. But this is really fun. Sometimes for fun, this is my opinion. I will be wrong. I will be right. I will be wrong. What's going on, Barnhouse? So, and yeah, so this is all just my opinion. Unlike the look back, this is not fact, this is opinion. And what else was I going to say before I get into these? I don't remember. Unfortunately, I don't do these very consistently because sometimes I just don't feel like looking at what's hot right now because it's like, oh. So, all right. Without further ado, let's bring this up and we will get started. We had kind of a hot indie of the week that had 2 covers on the list. This is the main. A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night. So this is kind of the opposite of our typical Option News book because the movie was made in 2014, and this comic now coming out by the same person that wrote the movie, that was behind the movie, has kind of brought renewed interest in the movie. This book has been selling hard, like this fairly low print. This main cover is going for 10 to 15. The 1 in 15. I gotta click on the actual thing to switch, which is this cover has been going for 25-ish. So my thoughts on these. So it's already been made. So unless this is just exceptional, my guess is this is going to cool. I don't think it's gonna like come crashing back down, but I would guess it's gonna, like, these are gonna cool. I would say the main at 10 to 15 will probably hang out around a $10 book. So I would probably call it a, and I'll be back and just kind of wait till it cools a little bit. The B cut, this 1 in 15 at 2025. Again, I would probably just go with the I'll be back on both of these. I just don't think there's going to be hot enough to really kind of maintain. I should make a note. I didn't write down what I was going to say about that one. But yeah, so that's kind of my thoughts on these. We'll see. I mean, if the story is just exceptional, maybe it has a life beyond what the movie limited it to initially. But yeah, I would just be patient. Let the initial buzz kind of die down and get these if you really want them. Let's see if I got any comments going on. So we're up to 12. Let's see. Next, we do have actual option news. And this is, I keep clicking there instead of over here, which is, what is going on? Thank you. So, which is DMZ number 1, and this is one that people have talked about being optioned multiple times over the years. It's kind of hit these lists multiple times. Now, supposedly, HBO is going to do a series, which is, it is a 1 in 5. That's what I thought, but for some reason, I wrote down 1 in 15. Thank you, Dollar Man. I'm sorry about that. I don't know why. I thought that's what I read, but I apparently wrote 1 in 15 on that other cover. So 1 in 5. Okay, thank you for the correction, sir. That's what I thought, but I apparently wrote the wrong thing down. All right, DMZ. So this has been something people have talked about multiple times. It's been on the list multiple times over the couple years that I've been doing these look backs because it was optioned, it was gonna happen, it was gonna happen. So now supposedly it's coming to HBO, and it's jumped back up to a $25 to $30 book this week. Again, I would call this one. The fact that it's at HBO would give me hopes on this one. Makes me think that there might actually finally be something here. But again, it's not actually even, the way they talked about it, it's not actually still not in production. To me, at the best, it's this in terms of, because people are going to forget about this again between now and whenever it actually comes out. You'll be able to do a little better than 25, I would guess 25 to 30, which is what it's going for now. Hey, Sam, what's going on? So yeah, this is another one. I would just generally with option news, just wait till the news fades a little bit, and you can usually do a little better. Sometimes a lot better, sometimes a little. I think it does. I just think, like, if they actually make the show and it's good, yes. Like, but I think we're a ways from the actual show, unless I misinterpreted what they were saying about it, that it's still a ways away from actually appearing. So to me, that's why it's an I'll be back. I don't think it's a trap, because I think it would be a decent investment, but I think you can do a little better. So let's see, what else we got here? Go back over here. So with that, we're going to move into covers this week. First is this Star Wars Adventures Annual 2020 1 in 10 Brokenshire variant. So this is kind of a little like CBSI talked about it having a little bit of a Peach Momoko look. I don't see it. To me, it looks even more crude, cartoony-ish than hers. Personal feelings is, I didn't think this cover was that cool. So we'll get that out of the way. So that may or may not influence my opinion. It's currently, this 1 in 10 is going for $60 to $75 week of release, which is a huge number, but Star Wars incentives tend to be more consistent than regular incentives. Not always, tend to. Star Wars has been super hot overall. 60 to 70 seems like a lot, but I don't know what the print run is. I didn't look up the print run on this IDW Star Wars Adventures Annual. So I don't know that. I doubt there's a ton of these out there. My thought on this is, this book, there's going to be this initial craze to get it. And most people that have it, a lot of people that have it are going to try to flip it, which means there's going to be a bunch of them on the market here in the next month or so, which I would guess is the price is actually going to come down. And then by the 6-month mark, though, like when we do the look back, my guess is the price will be back to here or higher, because they'll start to dry up. There won't be that many of them out there. Star Wars collectors tend to get stuff and hold it. So that's my thought, is I would still put it in and I'll be back in terms of like being a little bit patient with it here at the initial, but I wouldn't be super patient with it, because I have the feeling it will kind of dry up if you really want this. Personally, I don't think it was that cool, but that was me. Perry, what's going on? Yeah, that's the problem with DMZ. It's been in development hell forever. It's too much loot. I don't even consider it. I wouldn't consider it at $65, $70. If you didn't manage to snag it at your LCS, it'd go. I would be patient on it here for a little while, for a month or so, and then see if you can snag it for less. I could be wrong. That's my thoughts. Let's see. We have over here. Sorry, I'm adjusting to having two screens. So I'm looking at the screen where I'm seeing you guys and what I have up, but my actual thing that I'm clicking on to click through them is over here, and it's messing with me. I hadn't tried this before like this. And this is Something is Killing the Children, number 3, the second print. And this went from a $75 book a couple weeks ago to a $250 book. There's not a bunch of these out there. This Something is Killing the Children right now is absolutely on fire. This is the indie of 2020, I think. Everything, all of these covers, people are insane about this book. It's one I kind of like. I really enjoyed. I read the trade. I can't wait to read the second trade. I haven't been picking it up. Probably should have been, but I haven't. What's going on, backseat? So yeah, my guess is this is, I don't know if it'll sustain 250 plus, but my guess is it's straight cash that it's not going to come down much, unless this run just drops off or ends unexpectedly or something. My guess is this book is going to maintain for a while, at least through like the 6 months we're talking about. Yeah. Good for you, Dreadnoks, because it's on fire right now. So if you're not super attached, I would consider it or sending it off. Now, mind you, that 250 plus is raw. Like, so I would consider sending this one off. So that's what's going on there. It's a really cool cover. I really like it. And I've loved the series. I love the first volume. I have not read beyond that because I haven't been picking up the issues. I've just been waiting for the trades. Next, we have our next cover is this Bitterroot number 4, the David Mack variant. So CBSI kind of threw a warning out with this one. In that there were suddenly out of nowhere, there were 2 sales that were for $100. He flat out said he didn't do any investigation to look to see if these looked like legitimate sales in the last week. I didn't do any investigation either. I would be cautious with this one. This is not like an incentive variant. Now, these Bitterroot variants have done pretty well. David Mack's a cool artist. I don't think I would pay $100. To me, this seems like a trap a little bit, that this is going to be that these $100 sales just seem sort of out of the blue and odd. I'd be wary of this one. That's my personal opinion. And our last cover of the week is another new book, and this is Recount number 1. And this is, what is this? This is the Qua variant that was limited to 250. This was like a $20 initial buy-in. It's already going for, it was a store variant. It's already going for $90. It's a cool one, but it relies on this being, maintaining this kind of value relies on this not just being good, but being really good. I haven't read Recount. It was not on my radar as a new indie coming out. I hadn't heard anything about it. So that's probably going to bias me. But to me, this seems like, unless this story really has legs, unless the series really has legs, this seems like a trap. I mean, it's a cool cover, but it's not, I don't know, if the series doesn't amount to anything, that those cool covers don't usually hold up. Ordered a copy from Scout Comics. So we'll see. This was a limited 250. If this series has legs, then I will probably be wrong on this one. But I generally, most indies don't hit like enough to really sustain this kind of value for a variant like this. So that's my thoughts. We're going to move right along. What we got next? We got Strange Academy number 1, the 5th print. So this just came out too. Was this week or last week? I know it was just, the 5th print was just here recently. And this is going for 10 to 15. This seems to be doing about the best of any of the extra printings so far of Strange Academy. So the thought is this might actually be the rarest one of the second, third, fourth prints. I still have a hard time. To me, these are reprints. Like spending big money, but 10 to 15 is probably fine. So if you're grabbing this for 10 to 15, if you like this series, I'd say there's a fair chance that this will take off. I won't call it a straight cash. I need a category of like it's fine. Like I don't really have one because it's not really straight cash. I don't necessarily think it'll take off. I think there's a chance it does. I put it in the I'll be back because that's the closest I got. I do need to add a category. I don't know why I've never thought of that really before. That they need to just say, yeah, it's okay. Price about right. So that's kind of what I'm thinking here. I mean, personally, I would try to track one down and get it for cover, but at 10 to 15, it's probably not outrageous. So, well, welcome, Funky Sloth. I appreciate that. I try. I don't know how many of these cash or trashes you've watched, but these are strictly my opinion. So sometimes there's good. I know what the hell I'm talking about, and sometimes I don't. So we try. We get, like I said, this is all just JP's opinion here. But where are we at? We are. So that was kind of comic buzz. We'd moved into our next kind of comic buzz is Black Panther #7. This is the first appearance of Zinzi, who is the daughter of the leader of. I haven't been reading this, so basically, the gist I took of this from Tom's thing was this has been like Black Panther in space. He's been fighting this other space nation leader emperor who actually is Killmonger with some unnamed symbiote. He has a daughter who's also been like trying to overthrow her Killmonger. But the gist of this is this story has been on hiatus for almost a year. Like they had not put out an issue since the Corona shutdown. And it's finally coming back for the final 3 issues of this run and storyline. So there's a little buzz around this first Zinzi. I think there's also maybe some buzz that maybe she's a character that might have legs going forward. There was 1,000% increase in sales this week. It's why Tom and Key Collector put it on the list. But it's still going for $4 cover price. So again, another one of this fine. Yeah, if you can find this for cover price, you want to take a shot on Zinzi. I think that's how you pronounce her name. Go for it. That's kind of where I'm at. Hey, Kachung, what's going on, man? Joseph's trash. Well, at cover price, I have a hard time saying anything is trash. Although there are some. But yeah, thank you, Kachung, for welcoming those that are new. Oh, Star Striker, I missed you for hopping in here. See, Funky doesn't actually even like this run, so there you go. Like I said, I haven't been reading it. I think it's just like I said, if you're grabbing a first appearance of a character for cover price, it's not that big a deal. See, I have a problem when Tom and Key Collector do this. They put a lot of books on the list that aren't really, because there's lots of movement, but if the movement isn't causing the price to actually go up, I don't know. So, whether they really belong here. Next, we have, I got to remember that my click screen is clear over here. Marvel Spotlight #9, and mostly known for this is the first appearance of the second Captain Universe, but that is not why this is on the list. So apparently the new symbiote Spider-Man King in Black series, the #1, we get the return of Mr. E, who was the little shadow guy in the background here. I don't know if I do on this, if you guys can see that. Yeah, this guy here. He'd only ever appeared in this one issue before. He's been pulled into this whole Null thing. He sees Spider-Man in a symbiote, calls him brother. Like basically, they're retconning him as a creation of Null of some sort. And yeah, this caused this book to suddenly jump to $25, and 9.6 went for $100. Stop it. Tom was joking about it being the gold balls of 2020. I'm just, stop it. just because Donny Cates uses a character doesn't mean he's going to be important, doesn't mean he's going to last. Stop it! I get Sir Cates can do no wrong, but come on. Yeah. Like, where's the first appearance of the Sidorak right now? And where is, like, that book's not worth anything now. And it jumped up to a $40 book, and now it's like a $10 book. I just don't see this character having. This isn't going to be one of the main parts of this Null storyline, this King in Black storyline. It's just the Donny Cates retcon. Yeah. Sam I Am has even stronger feelings about this than I do. Hey, Mastodon, I need to see some fire, JP, on that. I just, was there not? I clicked the dumpster fire, I thought. It's right there. So, yeah, no. All right, we're going to move on. Next, we have Wonder Woman #1 from the George Perez run. And this has everything to do with the announcement that they're going to just release it to HBO Max. And in theaters, which nobody will go to hardly, but they're going to release it on HBO Max. Wonder Woman 1984 caused a spike in this book. $20 raw, 9.8 going for $150. This is a complete this is a great book. I want to get one of these, but there's a bunch of these out there. This is not going to be a sustainable rise in this book, in my opinion. This is definitely an I'll be back. I mean, it's not that much higher than what it was anyway. It was a little over $100 book for 9.8. Yeah, exactly. So to me, this is if you haven't gotten one previously, wait for the movie buzz to die down, come back and get this. Still a great book, but just not something I would buy right now during the hype. So where's Magic Lasso? I know, where is Lasso? I could just leave this up for him. Yeah. So what do we got next? All right, where are we at? Next, we have Black Lightning. So we've moved out of Comic Buzz into DC TV movie stuff. Black Lightning #2. This is the first appearance of Painkiller. So I guess this all comes down to the WB announced they were canceling Black Lightning after 4 seasons, but there's supposedly going to be, like, back in the spring, I guess there was a appearance of Painkiller appeared, and now supposedly they're going to launch a spin-off pilot. Or they're going to film a pilot of a potential spinoff with Painkiller, which basically caused this book to jump to, where are we at? 8 to 10. Again, this is another one of those Tom books that hits the list. It's like, really? Here's my thoughts on this. These CW shows have not sustained books. They have not at all. The Batwoman book didn't sustain. Of course, they ended up getting rid of her. Like, they just have not sustained books. They have. So to me, this is absolutely a trap, even though it's only $8 to $10. I mean, maybe the show actually happens. They pick up the pilot. It runs for a while, in which case at $10, it's probably not that big a deal. But I'll be surprised. I'll be surprised if this goes anywhere. What's going on, Louis the 13th? Yeah. So I would just avoid this. Really, that's, to me, I would just avoid it. This is what I think about that character. It doesn't matter what his name is. I don't think he's going to sustain a show. I'll be surprised if it gets picked up. I would not be chasing this. But hey. All right, next we got, where are we at? Gosh dang, we had a ton of books this week. All right, we're moving into Marvel spec. And first up we have, oh, wait, no, I had one more DC book. I forgot about this one. So this is the first appearance of Vigilante in costume is what's making this book spike. Supposedly they've cast him. I don't even know what for. Like, I didn't have a chance to look, I'll be honest. They didn't say what for they cast him on the CBSI thing, and I didn't have a chance to go look. So I don't know if this is for the Titans season 3, if this is for the WB, if this is for something else, my guess is it's Titan Season 3 that they're casting Vigilante for. Anyway, this caused us to jump to a $15 to $20 book. To me, it's a better book for being Blackfire's first appearance than his first in costume. It's not his first appearance. This is his first in costume. But at $15 to $20 for a double kind of key, it's still probably too much. I'd come back. I would come back. This book has never had sustained value. To me, it's an I'll be back at best, a trap at worst. It's right in that kind of range. Yeah. And I like this book. I like this run, but yeah, I would not be paying $15, $20 for it. Yeah. So for me, to me, it's more of a Blackfire book. I would rather have the annual is the Peacemaker show. There you go. 84 knew what it was supposedly cast for. Okay. So they cross paths a lot. I mean, to me, I would go after his actual first appearance. I wouldn't necessarily go after this one because the first appearance isn't that expensive. So, yeah, that's the one I would go. It's 2. I couldn't remember which annual is 2. That's the one I would go after more than this one for Vigilante. But let's see. Okay, now we're going to move into Marvel. All right. So all this rumors about Darkhawk, MCU, and now people are on the preview again. Ugh. You guys know my thoughts on previews. Whoa, what did I do? I don't know. I don't know what I did there. But people are paying, what do we got here? 15 for a Marvel Age preview. 9.8 going, or 9.6 went for 135. I mean, it's gonna be a while before we see Darkhawk, in my opinion. To me, this is at best, and I'll be back. There's a billion of these. I wouldn't be chasing this. I wouldn't be chasing Darkhawk. We'll see. I could be wrong on that. I have my doubts that he's in any kind of plan soon, given all the X-Men stuff they have that they can bring in, the Fantastic Four stuff they can bring in now. Why on earth would they go to Darkhawk anytime soon? But that's just me. Yes, the preview part doesn't actually even show Darkhawk. We should say that. Like, there is a picture of him, and then the preview of issue 1 of Darkhawk doesn't have Darkhawk in it. So Darkhawk is cool, but no. Hey, Sergio. Talking to Discover Bay. Yeah, I saw your post, Kachun. Good for you. All right, D-Rock, here you go. This week's hot list. Recap immediately. Not really, but there's been a couple I've thought that, but not really. All right. And then the next book goes right along with Darkhawk, and this is another stretch. People have started specking on Sleepwalker because he and Darkhawk team up a lot. So the Darkhawk rumors means, well, maybe Sleepwalker. So people have been paying. Now this one's only going again $8 to $100 for 9.8. Is it really that big a deal? Probably not. I would put it in the I'll be back, or maybe it's fine. It's in the $8. It's fine, but I wouldn't be paying much more than that. That's for sure. Yeah. That's kind of my thought on this. To me, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Yeah. It's like, I mean, if you want to pay $8 for a copy of Sleepwalker #1, if you missed out back in the day, okay, but I don't think you're gonna make big money on it. No. All right, next we have more Marvel spec, and we got Captain Marvel 17, the first fight Lavelle. And this is basically happened because she's been spec'd for Guardians of the Galaxy 3. As a potential character. There's been rumors, but really nothing solid about this. It's more just people specking. To me, I think Adam Warlock's the spec for Guardians of the Galaxy 3, but this all came about again this week because James Gunn mentioned he was getting ready to start working on it again with now that it was on schedule, and now with Suicide Squad kind of getting toward the end, he was starting back toward this. What's yeah. You're not wrong. Dr. LaFox is not wrong. Like I said, I would look for it in dollar bins. He's right. look for Sleepwalker in dollar bins before you go buy $8 for it. What's going on, Patrick Wall? So like where are we at on this on prices? So 36 for raw copies. I don't know why they did 36 is the average price for raw copies. So 30 to $40 for raw. 9.8 went for 136 again, 130, 140, somewhere in there. To me, it is low print. I just again, I'll be surprised if this is a character they go to. But maybe. But I don't know that I would wait again. I'd be patient. I think we're a ways. We're a couple of years from Guardians of the Galaxy, which means people are going to forget about this again. Which means it's going to be a $15, $20 book again. Not completely, like people won't completely forget, but you'll get away from the current like little buzz, and it'll be a $15, $20 book, and I'd go get it then. Next we have more. We have Daredevil number 10. This is the second appearance of Echo, first cover appearance of Echo. This keeps going that there's rumors that they're about a deaf character coming to the MCU. This is the one people seem to think is going to be that character because they were casting a character that can do sign language. So that's where this is all coming from. I think this is a cool cover. This is a David Mack, I think. Yeah, and cool David Mack cover. Basically, prices here are $20, 9.8 going for 120. Again, though, I think yeah, I won't lie about that. It is a great cover. Like I wouldn't be if you wanted to chase this for the cover and that it was her second appearance for $10 to $20. Okay, but I think you can be patient on this one. This is another one. I think it's going to be a while. I think there's going to be a window where you can do better than what it's currently doing. But if you love this cover, you think the character's cool, I would just kind of like make a note of it and come back. That's where I'm at. But that is a really cool. I do love that David Mack cover. I will not lie. There you go. Got it for $3. I don't know that you'll get it for $3. You might find it in back issue bins for $3. Let's be honest. Like you could probably find this in back issue bins. I wouldn't go out and pay $20. Like I said, but I'd just be patient on it. Something to get 9. I don't know what 9 is. Oh, of that run. All right, what do we got left? All right, we're moving. We got one Star Wars book this week, and this is Age of Republic special number 1, and this is the in Marvel canon first full Ahsoka, which I've seen like 3 different books brought up rated this. I haven't actually looked in them. There's that Darth Vader 14 where there's a flashback panel to the Clone Wars and you see her in a helmet, but you can't 100% tell it's her, but it looks like her, but just based on species and stuff. Then and who she's with, it's probably her. And then there's like the Mace Windu 5, I think. That is also where she makes a cameo kind of appearance. And this is supposedly, they're saying her first full appearance. So there's like 3 of them. There's multiple covers of this. This seems to be the cover people want. This is the FAM variant. And it's going for, they put it down for 60 plus. It's actually, since it hit the list on Friday, it's actually been pushing 80 for sales on this. This is all about Ahsoka coming to The Mandalorian next week. Everybody thinks next week's the episode. Most of us can't afford Clone Wars number 1 anymore. So they're looking for this as her in-canon appearance. First full. Obviously, like I said, I think there's 2 other cameos that are before this. So yeah, that's what this is about. my guess is this book is just going to go up. My guess is this is a straight cash book because it was probably a little bit undervalued. I don't think Ahsoka's going anywhere. I think that Ahsoka Clone Wars book is going to continue to get out of reach for people. So yeah, this is going to be the next best thing. To me, this is Baker saying Star Wars for life. I probably I don't want to pay $80 for this book, but it's probably not out of range at $80. Or well, 60 to 80. 60, if you can find it for 60, you're probably still doing good. Yeah. I think Ahsoka after next week, these Ahsoka books are gonna be stupid. They're already being stupid just because everybody knows it's coming. So Nebula Ribbon. Well, that's not Ahsoka on the cover. That's Ventress on the cover. So the Ahsoka is not on the cover of these, but yeah. And yes, Ventress does kind of look a little bit like Nebula, but Ventress actually was introduced before that look of Nebula, I think. Straight TV baby. D-Runk does not like the Star Wars books. It makes us send him some and say, okay, yeah, I'll take that. And then our last book of the week, I had to save this for last because this is pure 90s nostalgia. Darkwing Duck #1 hit the list this week. Hey, wait, Smallwood, what's going on? And yeah, so they're bringing it back. So they brought back DuckTales. I think they're on season 3 or 4 of that to one of the Disney channels. They've been setting up Darkwing Duck for a while. It's finally coming that they're relaunching a new Darkwing Duck series. It's caused renewed interest from people of a certain age that remember this, which I'm just on the high side of. I do remember this, and I did enjoy it as a kid. Bake says it sucks compared to the OG. Actually, I thought it was pretty good, but okay. But I don't really remember the OG. I went back and watched those. Yeah, TV is getting scarce again. So yeah, that's pretty valuable. So yeah, this Darkwing Duck is, where's it at? It's sitting at 50 plus, 9.8, jumped from 150 to 300 plus. And this is absolutely probably not a trap. It's probably an I'll be back because it had value before. And it'll have value. There's enough nostalgia here. But once the show has come and it's going, and there's not this excitement that, oh, it's back. It'll come back down. It will not maintain, and I don't believe, these prices. Yeah, OG Darkwing Duck is where it is at. Captacula was hilarious. Need to put bags. There you go. So that is this week's list. Yeah. Basically, this one I would weigh. I mean, other than this, I think everything is probably, this and the Something is Killing the Children. I think everything else is, at least it would be an I'll be back. There's not a ton of dumpster fires here. But nothing, there's a couple of them that are probably priced about right, that kind of thing. But yeah, so, but not a great list this week, I'll be honest. Disney will make money somehow. Yes, Joe. Well, yeah, if you don't like it, then definitely pass. So, all right, folks, that is this week's list. Let me get this off of here. Like I said, it was, there was a lot of not much here. I'll be honest. There's not much here. There's a lot of iffy spec, in my opinion, on this one. Most of these things I would just wait on if you really want them. And honestly, if you never heard them before this, you don't really want them. And that's kind of, yeah. So, because, yeah, I don't believe in A Girl Walks Home Alone is going to be long-term. DMZ, I don't believe in until it actually happens, because they've jerked that thing around 100 times. So yeah, I'll be on White Whale's channel tonight for D&D during the Chiefs game, but I bailed on them last week, so I'm going to play, even though I'll miss my Chiefs. I'll probably have them on, and like if I'm distracted and you're watching that, it's probably because I'm watching the Chiefs on the side. And probably no look back coming this next Saturday because it's Thanksgiving week, and I'm probably just not gonna mess with it. So I want to thank you guys for hanging out. Wow, we're up to 36. I appreciate it. Do a good show. Yeah, I don't know about the good looking part, but so Dr. Blowbox is out of here, beast. Yeah, I'm gonna get off here. Later, everybody.